dreamers, and welcome back to Dream Queen by Perla. As always, guys, thank you for all your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, I encourage you to do so. It helps with growing the channel, getting the video out there for more people, as well as keeping me accountable. For personal readings, all that information can be found down below in the description. So we have a Virgo Libra Cusp, and again, guys, these are general readings, so only take whatever applies. We have Thorn. So there's something that is bugging you, or something that you're trying to release, or you're trying to get rid of. You know, like when, like if you get like a little piece of, like, you know, wood, like, you know, wood thorn or whatever, like in your finger, it's like it's annoying and it's hurting, or your toes or whatever, and you just, like, you know, you're frantically looking for a tweezer to go ahead and pull it out. And that's kind of like how you're doing. You're frantically going around trying to figure out the way to release something or to let go of something. And it's almost kind of like you feel this urgency in order to let go, but a lot of you are not allowing yourself that moment of silence to get the clarity, that moment of stillness within yourself to actually figure out how it is that you're to execute this ending, or this letting go, or this removal of something. So because of that, you can fall into an energy or a space where you're being reckless. So do be aware of that. Try your best not to react in the moment, but instead respond. And you know, we've talked about this in the past, where when you're not grounded within yourself, and when you're not aware of who you are or what triggers you and things like that, anybody can say something, and you can definitely internalize it, not necessarily the way that it was said or meant, or you can make a bigger deal out of something. Now, and I get it, there are certain people out there that are probably saying very nasty things and very things like this, but you don't have to stoop to that level, right? You can get your point across and not have to go and engage within those energies that then when you're done, you're like, shoot, I should have done that differently. Shoot, I should have responded in a different way, right? Because you were so caught up in your feelings and your emotions at that moment in time that you weren't able to even get your point across, because you end up talking or end up going off track. And that's a lot of the times the things that happen, right? When you get into a heated argument, 99% of the time what you're arguing about with the person has nothing to do with what the issue at hand is, right? So, like, let's say, for example, if I start arguing with my sister, and we're arguing about, like, this is red, and she's like, no, that's burgundy, and I'm like, no, it's red. Oh no, it's burgundy. Oh no, you know, when you were a kid, you said that was light blue and it was baby blue, and it's like, wait, what? Like, that's not even part of the argument. We're talking about red and maroon here, right? So that's kind of like what I'm trying to get to the point, right? If you allow yourself that space to respond, right, to what it is that somebody is saying, or how to respond in order to remove that thorn, then you're doing it effectively, and you don't have to revisit that. If you're doing it from a point of reacting, your point and their point, or whatever, whoever's point it is not getting across. And then you always have to remember that we have to learn to be active listeners. A lot of the times when people are expressing something to us that made them uncomfortable, made them mad, or why they're upset with us and things like that, we tend to then start running down the things that made us mad and uncomfortable about them, the things that we want to say, and we're not fully paying attention to what it is that they're saying. We're hearing them, but we're not listening. So it's almost kind of allow yourself to be in a place to receive what it is, in the sense of listening to what it is that they're saying before you respond, so that you're responding to what is actually being said, and not just the parts that you're choosing to hear. So let's go ahead and let's pull out a love energy card. Now, this can be any type of love: romantic, platonic, self, spirituality, your goals, your desires. Alrighty, we are using the dark mirror. We have number 23, revenge. Be very careful that, again, you have, it comes to a point where it's like, when you get upset or when you get in these energies, is vengeance, right? Well, you did this and this and this, and it's like, as a revenge, you're gonna throw back everything that they did to you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. It's like, hey, can if we're gonna talk, let's just talk about this like two grown adults. Let's, if we have to put everything on the table, we'll put everything on the table, but at least take the time to acknowledge what the other person is saying and see what it is that I have to pay attention to, right? And vice versa. Because both of you, whoever's involved in these conversations, they're all for revenge. And it may very well be that somebody that maybe you had an issue with years ago, whatever, is trying to get revenge on you, and you're just like, buddy, love, that's done and over with. Like, that's done and over with. We're not in that space anymore. So I have no idea why this is coming up. You know, and maybe sometimes people just have to say something in order for their healing. There are individuals that they need closure, and until they don't say something directly to somebody, they can't find closure within themselves. And that may be the situation that you're dealing with, and that's okay. Alrighty, so your closing message is the owl, number 27. Behold sight, O ancient ones, for there is magic in the darkest of places if one dares to open their eyes. So if you allow yourself to see the situation from a different perspective, and you allow yourself to, again, address the issue at hand without going into this vengeful place, without going into this place of like, tú me dices, yo te digo, which is basically you tell me, I tell you, and we go back and forth, then you'll be able to see you'll be able to see clearly. And you'll be able to see that maybe somebody is still hurt. Maybe somebody hasn't let go of a situation. Just because you healed from something and you let it go, doesn't necessarily mean that somebody else has. And if they're in that place and just telling you off is what they need, personally, I'll just be like, get it off your chest, sweetie. But we're not going to go back with that back and forth, right? And you're not going to blame me for anything, right? Because it's almost kind of like this thing, like, you know, there are people that are going to try to push your buttons to try to get a reaction out of you. But if you've healed from something, it's like, okay, I hear you. Okay. And that's it. Well, guys, that is all that I have. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Bye-bye.